I'm Chelsea,
And I'm Jenny.
and this is Death and Gardening.
Right. Well, today I am probably stretching the scope of our podcast a tiny bit.
Okay.
There's no plants. There's not really a garden.
How dare you?
I know. There is a farm, but it's not even really a farm.
Okay.
Yeah. We'll get to it, but it's loosely related, I guess. So today I am going to tell you about Herb Baumeister at Fox Hollow Farm.
That is quite the name.
Yes. You may have heard about it. Mm-hmm. It's been covered by a few big podcasts. There's a Hulu series. There are some books. Yet I feel like for how many victims have been found and where the case currently stands, it doesn't seem like it has had a lot of attention.
Ah, okay.
I did not finish the Hulu series. I started to watch it, but it did compare Herb and his crimes to those of Jeffrey Dahmer and John Wayne Gacy, but without the media attention.
Gotcha. All right. So a lot of victims.
Yeah. And it probably didn't get that attention because there wasn't a trial.
Oh. Yeah, usually trials definitely bring more of the public eye to things.
Yes. Yeah. I also have a teeny tiny connection to this case that I will mention later.
Ooh, okay.
It's very teeny tiny, but yep. Herb Baumeister was born April 7th in 1947 in Indianapolis, Indiana. His father was an anesthesiologist, and his childhood was pretty normal. He went to college and met Julie, and they were married in 1971. About 6 months after they were married, his father had him committed to a psychiatric hospital for 2 months.
Oh, wow.
It seemed like he was having a really rough time, I think, between his job and life, I guess. I'm not totally sure about those circumstances, but yeah.
Yeah, it's a little strange to be like, oh yeah, all through childhood, all through college, everything else, fine. And then finally hit a point where they're like, you get to be put into psychiatric help now.
Yeah.
Out of almost the blue, kind of.
Yeah. I'm guessing that there were signs.
Yeah, and like you said, if it was due to like pressures of just being able to balance everything, everyone's got a breaking point. So
yeah,
he might have just hit his.
Yeah. They had 3 kids.
Okay.
They decided to open a business that was a thrift store named Save-A-Lot.
Oh.
I guess it was kind of compared to a Goodwill. The store did well enough that they opened another location. But at some point, the business started to fail. I'm not super clear on the timeline of these, like this thing exactly, but he was seen as a successful businessman. So I'm guessing it was a little while after that they didn't do so well.
Yeah.
Things were not going well for them, I think, either in the business or in their marriage or both. But somehow they managed to purchase the Fox Hollow Farm in 1991, which I think was about $1 million.
He did well enough to be able to afford that.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And also, yes, I think I have heard of the Fox Hollow Farm, if I'm correct. Then his name escapes me, but I do, yeah. Mm-hmm. Sounds familiar.
Yeah. So a little bit about Fox Hollow Farm. Mm-hmm. It was an 11,000 square foot Tudor style house on 18 acres of land.
That's a big property.
Yes. It had an indoor swimming pool, 2 libraries, a 5-car garage, and stained glass windows.
Jeez. All right.
Yeah. I think on one article it said something about like it could fit like 2 like golf courses or something. Like
yeah,
it
that's
was
crazy.
Yeah, it's very large and like wooded, and
for having a failing business, I think they were fine.
Oh, right. Certainly seems that way. And Julie and the kids would also go out of town over the summer for vacation, and he would stay home to take care of the business. So they were doing pretty well.
Yeah.
Around this time, a lot of young gay men went missing. Many of them were last seen at known gay bars, because this is also the 90s. So like being like gay bars being like a prominent thing was not, as common. Like they existed, but it wasn't necessarily like.
Yeah, they had their very specific places. And
Yeah.
not a lot of them.
Yeah, very safe places. And, a lot of people would use like aliases and stuff because if they were,
Found out bad things could happen. Their lives
Yeah.
could be in jeopardy. Yeah.
Yeah, or just lose their job or cut off from family and, stuff like that.
Not a great time.
Not really, no. And Indiana, I think at that time, I mean, even now still is not maybe, I don't know how to say it exactly. Like I don't think of Indiana and think of like super safe place for
For the queer community.
Yes.
Yeah.
probably more so now. But back then, probably not.
Especially you said Indianapolis. Yeah. So main city hub, probably a lot better now than it was back then.
Yeah, right? I love Indianapolis. That's great.
One day I'll go.
Yes.
I've never been.
So, yeah, and at this time, the Hulu series, the part that I did watch, mentioned that the bars would tell patrons to let their friends know if they were leaving with someone they didn't know because there were so many missing men.
That's a good precaution to
Yeah.
have. Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's good for anyone, but especially at that time, being that, like, sort of targeted community for sure. Yeah. A man who spoke to the police described an encounter he had with a man that he had met at one of these bars, who said his name was Brian. He invited him back to his house to swim in the pool and keep the party going. The man said it felt a little weird when he walked in the pool area and there were mannequins placed around the pool and behind the bar, kind of like a party scene, like a social setting.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yep.
Mannequins are weird in general, but
Yep.
the staging is odd.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I don't like it.
No.
No, I think I would have walked away, but I don't know. He said he didn't trust the drink that Brian gave him, and he took it to the bathroom, poured it out, and put water in it. And they engaged in consensual sex that involved autoerotic asphyxiation. I can't remember all the details, but somehow this man left Brian's house. Like, he was alive, he left. After the interview with police, they started to connect the missing men to Herb Baumeister. The police wanted to search the property, but Herb and Julie said no. So I don't think it was just this one interview that connected them, like connected police to Herb Baumeister. I think it was sort of a series of events at the time. There was like a mention of a license plate, like being connected, that somebody had like seen the car, that they had seen their friend get in the car with this guy and they noted the license plate number and stuff like that. So this is just kind of, I didn't write that in my notes here, but it's a lot of different things. And then this one too, in 1994, Herb and Julie's son had been out on the property with one of his friends and they found a skeleton. He told his mom about it, but she sort of brushed it off. And Julie told Herb about it when he got home and said they might need to call the police, but he said, "Do not call the police. It is one of my dad's old medical school skeletons."
It just ended up on the property way out there, buried. And it's totally fine. Not weird at all.
Yeah. Well, and she said she didn't think much of it. And like she had a lot of other things to think about at the time. She kind of just let it go. His explanation was, I guess he kept everything, which I'm like, yeah, mannequins in your,
Yeah.
I guess you keep everything. And I mean, he owns a thrift store chain. So,
True.
but yeah, so I don't know that I would have just believed that.
No, I probably would have wanted to go see it for myself. I mean, like, no, I don't believe you.
Yeah. Yeah. Which, yeah, that skeleton disappeared.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But yeah, so once police were trying to search the property in 1996 and Herb's behavior was becoming a little weird, she became suspicious and let the police search the property. At some point, Herb left with their son out of town, and Julie was scared for her son's safety and made her bring him back. And I think that was like a court order and like order of protection type thing. It wasn't just like a little, hey, you need to come with, like, bring our son back.
I'm forcing you to bring the child back.
Yeah.
You can go do whatever, but he stays.
Yeah. And somehow Herb was able to leave again, and he fled to Canada, where he committed suicide at a park on Lake Huron by shooting himself in the head.
Oh.
He left a note, but it didn't discuss victims or crimes. So I think that was something that was mentioned in either the Hulu series or an article that I was reading, was that, like, if you're finding, or like if you're searching a property and somebody is able to leave, like, that just felt like investigators were like, how did that happen? Like, how did this guy get to leave the country?
Considering it's his property, he would be considered a suspect at that point, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
They've connected all of these things to him, but yet he was somehow able to leave. And, like, even his wife was like, I don't know where he is. Like, how was he able to leave? Like, it was just wild.
They dropped the ball there.
Yes.
As we've seen in a lot of older cases. Investigators, police just kind of dropping the ball.
Yeah. And it didn't help that the victims were gay men at that time, that it just was not a priority.
Yeah. They're like, oh no, another one. It's like, yeah, they're still people, guys.
Yes.
Still people.
So basically, they found that Herb had been leading a double life, basically.
Obviously, yeah.
He had been going to gay bars to pick up men when his wife and kids were out of town. He would take them back to Fox Hollow Farm and murder them, probably by strangling them, and would either burn or bury them out in the wooded areas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As you do, especially if you have a property that big. Makes it, I mean, obviously his son still managed to discover a skeleton, but it does make it a lot easier to dispose of bodies.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the search of the property resulted in finding over 10,000 human remains that belonged to an unknown number of victims.
Yeah, because human remains they could find a tooth somewhere, they could find a toe bone somewhere else, they could find but those could be from one body.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and the human body has 206 bones.
Yeah. So it's still going to be a large number of people. But yeah.
Yeah.
So it's not 10,000 individual bodies, basically, to try to specify. But yeah.
Yeah. Bones, fragments, all kinds of, just all over. There were shotgun shells that were found around the property. Remains were found in a creek on the property. And I think it was over 20 locations on the property where the bones were found. And I do remember I think it's in the first episode of the Hulu series that they said, when they were out there searching, they would have the little flags,
to pinpoint.
Construction kind of flags, the little tiny ones. Just if you see something suspicious, put a flag. And they were there was a sea of flags. It was just all over.
It's horrific.
Yeah.
Jeez.
It is insane.
Yeah, and he went by the alias Brian or whatever, right?
Yeah, I think it was Brian Smart.
Yeah, that sounds familiar.
Yeah.
Now I'm thinking of, because I have seen this one and trying to remember other details that you haven't covered here, and it's like, what else is there?
Yeah.
Because I think the one that left, he messed up, not the guy who left, but Brian, by having that guy be able to leave. That was
there's a whole other aspect of that I didn't put in my notes, but I can probably talk about it after this part that the Hulu, I didn't finish that part of the Hulu series. I kind of just Googled it, but we can talk about that too. It's a little speculative, but we'll see. Okay. So only 10 victims have been identified as of today. The county is working with genetic genealogists to identify the victims, but it is a very long process. I think maybe I've seen in the last few years that's been about one a year, person that's been identified.
Do you know why it's taking so long? Is it just because there's so many fragments to go through?
So it's mostly that knowing the way that genetic genealogy process takes is they have to build a family tree backwards. And connect it to, it's a little bit different. To me, it seems a little bit different in this case than they know the identity of the victim of a crime and they're trying to catch the killer and they use genetic genealogy that way. It's the two people, or the victim is known and it's just usually getting the DNA sort of from the perpetrator of the crime, and then they build a tree and connect it somehow. I'm not sure. It's been a while since I have looked into all this stuff. Genetic genealogy is one of my favorite topics, but I'm not always super clear on all the details. But I think in this case, it's also with how recent it is, finding, because on say websites like Ancestry or Family Search and all the things, if the people that you're looking for are alive, their details are hidden automatically if they are listed as a living person. So I'm on Ancestry, I have however many trees, but all of my details are hidden from anybody else looking at my tree.
Because you're still alive, and that could lead to people finding you and yada yada. And
So all of that is hidden. So all of these people that went missing in the 90s, their family members are mostly going to be still alive. Their grandparents maybe might not be, but a lot
their
of
parents
living
probably will be.
Could be. Because they were usually in their 20s and 30s in the 90s. So I think that might be making it very difficult. So they're having to rely on a lot of people, living people, taking DNA tests and having enough DNA to compare to the victims. So
I could also see because of how the gay culture and stuff at the time was treated. If people were super incognito about it, as a lot of people tried to be, not having the full identity, and then families being like, oh yeah, my son went missing, but no, he wasn't gay. Absolutely was, but yeah.
So there's a lot that goes into that. And that is where my teeny tiny connection comes into this. Because a couple weeks ago, I got a message from the genetic genealogist working on this case.
Oh my God. Okay.
Saying that she had identified me as a possible descendant of a couple from the 1700s, that one of the victims that they're trying to identify has DNA matches to. And I was like, so
you can help solve the case.
Right. So, and I immediately recognized the names of the couple, up from the 1700s. Really? I'm like, those are my fifth great grandparents. I know who this is.
So you're like, yeah, correct.
So, right. So she wanted to know if I had taken a DNA test so they could compare and help identify the victim, which of course I have. And I have it all on all the things. And I gave her the info, but it turns out it was not a match. But it did help rule out a whole line of people, which that specific line, that couple had, I can't remember if it was them or their kids, but there were 13 children just in one family.
Oh, wow.
So think of those 13 children that all got married and they all had children. And I think even one of those kids had 13 children also.
That's not surprising for the time.
So, right. But I was like, okay, that ruled out a ton of people that they don't have to then spend a ton of time on trying to to just come up at a dead end. And so, it wasn't.
Even though it wasn't one of your distant relatives.
Right.
Thankfully and unthankfully, depending on how you want to look at it, at
Right.
least you did literally help rule out
Probably hundreds of
people.
people.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's where a ton of my ancestors are from, is that area in Indiana. Like, not Indianapolis, but like I have a lot of family from Indiana. So I was like, that makes sense. And like, when I got the message, I was like, how is this a scam? This has got to be a scam in some way. And then I was looking it up. I'm like, oh, this is legit. Like, this is the person that is listed in articles, like, reaching out to me. And that was the most wild experience that I have had in a very long time.
Yeah.
So
That's so cool, though.
yeah. Because that is, if there was the dream field of me to work in would be genetic genealogy, because it is just building family trees off of DNA stuff. And it's just, I absolutely love it. Yeah. But
alas.
Yeah. So at least it helped in a way.
Yes. In a big way. You took out a whole family line. They're like, all right, cool.
Yeah.
Now we can move on to another one.
Yeah.
So that's crazy.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, your little teeny tiny connection is a little less teeny tiny, I think, than you're letting on. But yeah.
I think it's pretty teeny tiny, because I'm not, it's not, it helped, just not in,
It helped in one way and not the other. But yeah.
Yeah.
Well, cool. Yeah. I hope they do obviously find the identity, but
yeah.
You actually played a part in it. That's just neat.
Right. Yeah. It was just kind of crazy. I was like, okay, I've watched all of the shows about this stuff happening and never thought that I would. Yeah. So.
Wow.
Yeah. So I guess that's really kind of all I have as far as like the facts of the things that I know that happened.
Okay. So about the speculative.
So
things.
Yeah, the speculative part, and he was mentioned and brought up on the Hulu series, and he was the one that spoke to police saying that he got away. Mm-hmm. And there is the speculation that because in the Hulu series, whoever they were interviewing was like, I'm going to just like text him and let him know that we're doing this like interview. And because also in the Hulu series, they have the current owner of Fox Hollow Farm.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And it's like this whole thing. So there's a lot going on in that series, but they talked to the guy that talked to the police saying, hey, I escaped, I survived her Baumeister. And he starts talking to this woman on the phone, and he's like, oh yeah, I lied. I was actually in a 2-year relationship with him, and I only lied and made up the stuff because I wanted them to actually get the search warrant for the property. Because he knew what was going on, apparently, that Herb was doing. So that's where the speculative part comes in, is that a lot of people, like on Reddit specifically, are like, he was absolutely a part of that then. And I'm like, also, why do you wait until a Hulu documentary thing is coming out to then tell that story?
Yeah.
It's just weird. I'm not gonna be like, oh, he's totally full of it. But like, it's just...
When did the documentary come out? Do you know?
Last year, I think it was.
Oh, okay.
Last year, this year. It's pretty recent.
Yeah, I'm trying to think about when the person I saw report on it, because I watched Call Me Chris.
Oh, yeah.
And she had covered it as well. And she had a lot of details in it. And I'm trying to remember when hers was. It could have very well been last year, but I don't know if it was around the same time as the documentary or not.
Yeah.
But yeah, and there were a lot of coming and going men. Well, not even going men, because unfortunately a lot of them died on that property. Mm-hmm. But yeah, and it was just like, yeah, the buddy system happening at the bar, being like, hey, tell your friends. Mm-hmm. And then I feel like it was Brian became, and it could have been from that guy talking about it, but became a name that people were like, oh, yeah, that guy. And then he just kind of became known-ish.
Yeah.
But it's, me recalling, it's unclear if it was told by that guy then. If he was like, oh, I lied. It's like, well.
Yeah. Well, and that was just what I saw on the series, because even on like Wikipedia, it has a different name as somebody coming forward to police. So that is
Okay.
even like and that's why I was like, I'm not going to say the names because I don't know for sure who it was. I just know that
Yeah.
there was an account of coming forward saying that, yeah. So,
Yeah.
yeah, because again, I guess the other part that I didn't include because it's not maybe 100%, but there's also
So take it with a grain of salt.
yeah. I mean, it's on Wikipedia. I'm going to just read it off of the Wikipedia
Well,
page right
yeah.
now, but
Knowing that it's on Wikipedia and can be edited and changed.
right. Well, and I think it's just they haven't officially connected anything. But it's the I-70 Strangler that happened between 1980 and 1991. That it was at least 11 young boys and adult men that were killed, and their bodies were dumped near I-70. And the reason that they sort of connected him to it is because 1991 is when they bought Fox Hollow Farm, and that's when the I-70 stuff stopped happening.
Oh, the I-70 stuff stopped happening?
Yeah. So then he bought the farm where he had 18 acres to then get rid of bodies. So, I mean, well, that's okay. That's maybe not the only reason, but
Yeah.
they've connected him to it, but it's not 100%. It doesn't sound like anyways.
Yeah. I mean, they've done that with a few serial killers, though, where they're like, oh, this one did this, but he was also kind of in this area at this time, so maybe he was also this guy. But yeah, I mean, if his businesses or anything were near I-70 by chance, then I could, or if he had any sort of hub ties to I-70. Is it just the I-70's in Indianapolis?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Ah.
Because, yeah, again, it was also meeting victims in popular gay bars, and then
Luring them out and doing whatever, and then
each had been strangled. So,
which was his MO.
yeah. So, and I mean, it very well could be, but unfortunately, he is not alive. Fortunately or unfortunately, he is not alive to tell.
Yeah, unfortunately for confessions, DNA, all yada yada yada, but
Yeah.
fortunately gone so he can stop doing it.
Yeah.
But
Oh, and that was the weirdest thing too. On the Hulu series, they have like archive footage of him, like, which I was like, what would he have even been doing? But there was like, he was like driving with his son, and they were behind like the truck that like paints the lines on the road. And they noticed a like raccoon that had been hit by a car and was dead in the middle of the road. And he was like talking, it was like a news like thing. Like he was talking to a camera guy about this, and he was saying how, oh, well, he thought that like, he's like telling his son, oh, I bet that they're just going to drive right over it and paint right over it. And they did. And he's like, that creature didn't deserve that kind of a fate. Like that was not humane. And I'm like, that was not humane to paint over? I'm like, what?
yeah, all right.
But he was like in like a suit, and he was like very like, you know, hair was very nice, like just all the things like, and it's always, I don't know, it's always the normal ones. Which clearly he was not normal. He had like some issues for sure.
Oh,
but,
for sure. Yeah.
And I think that was also in the Hulu series. There was the bartender that they were interviewing that remembered seeing him in the bar. And he had said that, he said that he was watching him, and he was like, this man hates who he is.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Internalized bigotry kind of. And yeah, and
Yeah.
and expressed in the worst possible way that ends in murder.
Yeah.
I hate those. Just
Yeah. But yeah, and there's the famous picture of him.
Yep. That's the guy. He either hit it real well, or his wife was purposely trying to be just ignorant to the situation and oblivious. Because I feel like if somebody's living a double life, unless they're real good, there's got to be some sort of telltale signs.
Well, and I think investigators said that they didn't think she had any idea.
Oh, okay.
And I have listened to a lot of different true crime things, and especially ones that deal with like double lives and like how many people have had multiple wives and families that they somehow maintain. And I'm like, first of all, that sounds exhausting and expensive.
Because not only are you taking care of one family, you have a whole other family to take care of, unless you're the loner of that family.
And then traveling between, I'm just like, I don't understand how it happens, but I know that there are people that do fool a lot of people. Mm-hmm. And I could assume that because she was always out of town when this would happen.
Yeah.
And you just come back and then everything's normal, which I don't understand.
Did she never go into I don't know. It's strange.
He seemed like, at least from different things, like he could probably just explain things away.
Probably.
And it was believed.
Because his double life, rather than the people traveling, where they keep their double lives very secret and separate, his double life was happening at his house.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
That's where I was like, anything?
Yeah.
Anything at all? Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm glad that we're just slowly sliding back to the dark ages, but I'm glad we're progressed. That not as many people have to keep that secret. There's still absolutely people that have internalized homophobia, bigotry, and misogyny and everything that they need to work through. But that's just how they were raised.
Yeah.
We're doing like a little bit better.
I was a little better for sure.
Yeah. You don't have secret gay bars anymore.
Right.
Just have gay bars now, but
yeah.
Why can't people just accept themselves?
Yeah.
Just be chill.
Right. I'll never. I'm glad that I don't understand like the, murderous mentality, I guess, but
like intrusive thoughts are one thing.
Right. Yeah.
But actually going through with like the act of and planning of doing something like that is
or just like the need or the urge or the whatever that some of these like serial killers have, like I just don't, I don't understand.
Their brains are different. They're just wired differently.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, as we've seen time and time again, a lot of them just can mask enough to just seem like a completely normal person.
Yeah.
That you would never suspect, which is the scarier part.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Having somebody who in my life that I spent a lot of time with that did end up murdering his wife and her sister in cold blood in their house. We never would have suspected it. Mm-hmm. And it was a crazy ordeal when it happened. It took everyone by surprise.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's the scariest bit. You never know.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I smile at awkwardness. Don't worry.
Right.
I'm not. It was horrific. And obviously all murders are like, to some extent, horrific. Mm-hmm. There's obviously cases of self-defense of, oh my God, I'm going to die. I need to get this to stop. But, and I'm glad we don't have that mentality.
Yeah.
It's nice to not understand. But I have also seen like psychologists and stuff who have gone through and kind of worked really hard to put reason to why they do the things they do. There's a whole spectrum of that.
Oh, yeah.
It's really interesting to look at and get into.
Uh-huh. Those are some of my favorite podcasts.
Yeah.
Like, it's,
Yeah. If you want to learn the human psyche and just see how far it can go sometimes, it would definitely be an interesting watch or read. Like articles on it, episodes. Yeah. It's some wild stuff.
Yeah, because that was, the main thing. Yeah. Normal childhood. I'm like, okay, so what made you this way?
Yeah, normal child, and then just had what seems like a psychotic break.
Yeah.
From possibly stress.
Yeah, I don't know.
And then apparently just never recovered past that, I guess. At least from
Yeah.
what that sounds like. He's dead now.
Yep. I was in kindergarten when he died.
Oh. Oh, jeez. His wife and son and stuff or did they have multiple kids, didn't they?
Yeah, they had 3. I think it was a son and 2 daughters.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I did
They're
not.
all fine, hopefully?
As far as I know,
Okay.
yeah, I didn't look into them because I was like, they've been through a lot. So
Yeah. Just leave them alone.
yeah.
They don't want to talk about their
I mean,
murderous father, I'm sure.
his wife did give interviews
Oh,
like
yeah.
back when it was happening though, which is totally fair because it took her by surprise too. So, yeah, but
Yeah, that's a wild one.
yeah. And the guy that owns the house now seems to be quite proud of it. Not like in the sense of he's like opening his house up for tours or anything, but
Yeah.
I think he has allowed like ghost hunting people to go there and stuff, which fair, but
Oh, yeah, he might just rent it out to specific parties. They're like, hey, we want to do this here.
yeah.
How much do you want? Or is it open for kind of...
I don't even know that I think it's like, it's fun for him is what it seems
Oh.
like. He seems very sort of into, like, it's not like he's going to be like making money or anything off of the
I know
things.
some people do end up doing that.
Because I think that was also in the Hulu series. He said that he was like, he had found that like there was a faucet missing in one of the bathrooms and he was like looking it up and like found somebody selling that faucet because it was from Herb Baumeister's house.
That's crazy.
So like I don't think he's on that level of like, I think he was kind of being like, that's a little odd to be collecting things from serial killers and selling it, but that's what people do. A
There
lot
are
of people
out there
do that.
They do collect things. They collect, things from torture devices to items from serial killers or their residences or anything. Yeah.
Yeah.
There are some interesting collections out there. But then that's also how you get haunted museums a lot of the time, too.
Yep.
They just have items from some really dark places.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
But yeah, no, he seems pretty into it.
Yeah.
His name is Robert Graves, and he said that if you
That's
say
awesome.
right, he said if you say it just right, it's like Robin Graves. And I was like, okay. So
Look, at least he's owning it. He's
Right.
all about it.
yeah, he's like, yeah, we swim in the pool, and I'm like, ooh, okay.
The pill.
I don't know about that, but
I would have absolutely had that thing bleached deep clean so many times before I filled that back up and swam in it. I don't know.
yeah, yeah. I mean, most people, like, I think it was John Wayne Gacy's house. Like, they tore it down, like, as soon as
did
they had
they?
recovered. And yeah, and like the same thing with OJ Simpson, like his house that he had, they tore that down. Like a lot of houses like that, they're just like, nope, we're not gonna create like a frenzy and a place that people want to come and look at, especially
That's fair. Yeah.
if it could be, lived in again. Like they don't want people to, yeah. So I was kind of surprised, but it's a really nice house.
That's a huge property too. Yeah. It's
Yeah. It shows, I mean, yeah, the Hulu series, it definitely shows inside at the outside. Like it's gorgeous. I would love a place like that. So
the ghost hunting you could do there.
right, I'd go out, I'm gonna camp in the woods tonight, see if I can hear any ghosts or anything, and then I would run inside like a little baby. So
Twig snaps. You're like, I'm done. I changed my mind.
I do that outside here. I let the dog out and I hear anything that sounds a little different. I'm like, nah, I'm done. I'm out. Which, to be fair, there was a manhunt not that long ago on the back
That is fair.
property, so I'm not that crazy for that.
No.
Unfortunately.
Oh boy. With that.
Right, yeah.
Oh. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is quite the case. I had heard that one, and it is a wild one for sure. Because
Yeah.
that double life led to a lot of deaths.
Yeah. Yeah, and I highly recommend last podcast's episodes about it, the 2-part series. Obviously I love Last Podcast on the Left, so yeah, they always do very good. But I can't say that I recommend the Hulu series because I didn't watch the whole thing. It definitely seemed to get a little sensational, but whatever.
As series tend to do to keep the views and clicks and things, but yeah.
But I think just for the little bit that I did watch, I think it's at least worth watching. I wouldn't say that it's... Yeah, I think it's worth watching. So you get...
Worth watching, maybe take some of it, but just like a grain of salt for fantastic views of
and I mean, because they have like the investigators, they have the medical examiner, they have the former prosecutor, like they have the people involved with it, and I believe what they say. It's just kind of when you start to get into some of the other accounts,
more hearsay kind of things and
that's
stuff,
where I'm kind of like, well, I don't know,
Yeah. All right. Well, that was... I was gonna say that was fun. That was... It was very informational.
Yeah.
Thank you for that one. And that is... Yeah. Also just a neat name for a farm, but yeah, horrific farm.
Yeah. And if you're in Indiana and you have a missing family member, take a DNA test.
Yeah, there you go. And I'll also point out, if you're at a bar and you're with friends, use the buddy system before you leave somewhere with anybody.
Right. Also, in general, don't leave your friends behind.
Nope.
Like, don't, make sure share your locations. It's not difficult.
No.
Like, I have done that for friends.
You'd be like, hey, I'm going with this person. If you don't hear back from me at X time, hit me up. If I don't respond, call the police.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's just a safety thing for everybody.
Yeah, take the extra safety steps. The world is still the world.
Yeah.
As even though some things have gotten safer, some stuff is still sketchy. So
people are still getting drugged in bars. So, yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
I have seen my fair share, and it's not, I dislike a lot of people for things, so. Yeah.
That's fair. Yeah, take care of yourselves, be safe.
Mm-hmm. Have fun, but be safe.
Yeah, have fun, absolutely. Yeah. But be safe.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we will catch you in the next one.
Yep.
Bye.
Bye.